Hey guys, MCU Collect here with another figure review. Next up is the Queen Studios INART 112 collectible figure. This is Batman from The Dark Knight Rises. This is one of the most anticipated, most exciting action figure lines to come out in 112 scale. So if you guys are not aware, Queen Studios INART has been producing 1/6 scale figures at an extreme high quality and extreme actor likeness to the figures, surpassing even what Hot Toys does. They are now getting in the 1/12 scale figure game. At San Diego Comic-Con in 2024, I was lucky enough to attend the INART event that was like off-site during Comic-Con, where they got to showcase these 1/12 scale figures in person. They actually did not have this Batman there. They had like the Selena Kyle Catwoman figure, and then some of the comic figures. Amazing stuff. So here they reached out and offered to send me a review sample of the Dark Knight Rises Batman figure. So I have it here. Very excited. We're going to talk about kind of this figure and kind of the offerings that are going to become available. So first up, the first things that I do want to take note over here before we get into the figure is the pre-orders will go live for this figure on March 28th. And so that's probably going to be like the evening of the 27th, or around the 27th, because it's going to be based off of the local time, Beijing time. So GMT +8. So I'll have to figure out what Pacific time that's going to be, but it's going to be March 28th. So it could be the 27th, depending on local time or per your region. But that's when the pre-orders will go live. There's going to be two different versions. There's a regular release, and then there is a deluxe release. The regular release will have a MSRP of $51, and the deluxe release will have an MSRP of $69. The deluxe includes the unmasked head and the base. This is the deluxe release, so I'll show you guys that here. And then I'll have a link in the video description below, which is the direct link to order through INART directly. However, INART does not ship to all locations. So the regions that they do not ship to are North America, Latin America, Hungary, Ukraine, Turkey, Belarus, and Russia. Other retailers will have these figures available. You just would not be able to order directly from INART. So check wherever you order your action figures from. Make sure to check with them to see if they're going to offer these 1/12 scale figures. So other retailers, again, will be able to import to the United States. It's just directly from INART they will not be. So we got that out of the way. I want to talk about this Batman figure. I've already opened it up and I've already taken a look at it. It's back in the box, so we're kind of going to go through it kind of all fresh. I didn't mess with it a whole lot, but we're going to go through it. Amazing detail on this guy, so it's pretty incredible. Here on the box, we don't get a whole lot. It just says Batman, The Dark Knight Rises. You can see it says INART 112 collectible figure, Queen Studios. And then as you can see here, it is the deluxe version. So we get the Christian Bale head sculpt as well as the base. We get the credit for all those that are kind of involved in what's kind of going on with the figure there. So that's what we got. The figure, the box actually came with like shrink wrap on there, like a plastic wrap, which I already kind of took off. But the way it is, it's not a really large box. But as you can see, we got the figure and the trays in there. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra sets of hands. We get a couple of swappable face plates. We get some batarangs in there. We got a couple of weapons and things like that. The tray underneath, and again, this is because this is the deluxe version, we get the base with the Christian Bale unmasked head sculpt in there. So there we go with the figure and everything like that. I forgot to mention this. So there's an instruction sheet because we want to make sure that we're doing everything right and we're not messing it up. Here is the soft goods cape in there. So that is really important. So we're going to put all of that together, take a look at the figure. I'm really excited because I got to play with this figure for a couple of days and it's truly amazing. So let's check it out. All right, guys, here it is. Here is the Christian Bale Dark Knight Rises Batman, the INART 112 figure, and he is absolutely amazing. Words cannot describe. I mean, I guess words could describe, but I want you to take a look at this. This is a 1/12 scale head sculpt. That is 1,000,000% Christian Bale. The likeness is spot on, perfect. Now they're 1/6 scale and above, easy for them to do. In tiny form, 1/12 scale, to do this good of a job is absolutely insane. Look at how absolutely perfect that looks. That is incredible. This is, again, exclusive to the deluxe version, along with this stand that I have Batman on there. That's what makes this version the deluxe version. The Christian Bale head sculpt, as well as the base. We'll get in for a closer look at this on the figure soon. But I do want to talk about the accessories that we got here. Here is like that EMP rifle, I think. Yeah. So the instruction sheet actually calls it the EMP rifle, where he uses this to kind of take out, electronic devices there. So that is really cool. Nice little blue translucent plastic in there to kind of give that glow look. So that is cool. This one right here, this is the sticky bomb gun. And I think what he used this, he shot it and then like bombs would stick to wherever he was shooting. This one's kind of delicate. You want to be careful on some of these little pieces. So, whoops. And then I go and drop it. Crazy. So this is really nice. We have that there. We also get the grapple gun. As you can see there, it's just kind of black and gold. It looks good there. And then we get several different batarangs. There's 2 different size batarangs, and there's 2 of each. And let's see. The big ones are the batarang A, and the other ones are the batarang B. How about that? Nice and easy. So these ones are kind of a thicker one. Let me show you guys. This is the batarang A. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker, a little bit more rounded in there in the center. And then the B, as I have to stick it to my finger just to hold on to it, is significantly smaller than A. As you can see there, the size difference between the two. We get 2 of each on those batarangs. We also get a couple of different interchangeable face plates for the cowl head sculpt. I will swap these out. They look very similar, but there is a little bit of a difference, like in their lips. Like one has a little bit, seems like a little bit darker of a 5 o'clock shadow, but they're pretty similar there. And then we get extra hands. So out of the package, he's got fist hands. I didn't remember which ones that I kind of have on there, but we get, it shows, it kind of lists off what we get in here. So we got the fists on the figure, then we have an open palm left hand, an open palm right hand, a sticky bomb gun holding left hand, a sticky bomb gun holding right hand, a relaxed left hand, a relaxed right hand, an EMP rifle supporting left hand, a batarang holding right hand, an EMP rifle holding right hand, a grapple gun holding right hand. There, so those are the different hands that we got. And we have the Batman figure. So let's go ahead and get in for a closer look at the cowl head sculpt. We'll swap out the little mouthpieces and put that Christian Bale head sculpt on there. Okay, so here is an up-close look at the figure and an up-close look at the mask, the cowl head sculpt. And that looks really good. Looks just like Christian Bale from The Dark Knight Rises. You could see kind of his mouth plate in there. But the sculpt of it just looks really nice. Really, really good. As you can see, we do have a soft goods cape as well. There's no bendy wire or anything like it in here, so you can't, kind of pose it out or anything like that. But it's a really nice soft material. I like the way it is. And it actually comes as a separate part, so I'm going to show you guys this. And it's going to be probably tricky. I'm probably going to have to stop the video to put this back on. But this chest piece is actually magnetic, as you can see there. And then these kind of just rest in place. They don't really clip in. But that's how the cape will end up holding in there, and then you would just put this magnetic chest piece back on there and holds it in place, and that also holds the cape in place, so you can have that there. So again, just really nice, really, really nice. Looking at the figure, crazy sculpted detail in the armor of the figure that looks really good. And there's articulation in there too. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, we'll get to the articulation here pretty soon. But crazy details in the armor and things going on in here. We got that gold utility belt in there, and that looks really good. None of these pieces come off or anything like that, so just be aware of that. And then kind of going on into the rest of the suit and the armor pieces, we get a couple of different colors in here. So we got like a lot of it is just kind of this dark gray or blackish color, and then some areas kind of have a little bit of a different color in there, which looks good. Looking at the back of the figure, as you can see there, just really nice. The sculpt of it is just absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice. So the mouthpiece plates, let's see how we could swap those out. I pop the head off. I'll have to look at the instruction sheet and how I do that, because we got those different pieces. So how, it just says how to, mouth plates can be removed and swapped. That's all it says, is it could be removed and swapped. How you remove and swap them, I don't know. But let's go ahead and pop that off. We can pull the head off. We'll do that now. But let's get the Christian Bale head sculpt on there, because this, again, absolutely incredible. The neck and head sculpt are all one piece on there, by the way. But the cowl head sculpt, the neck and the head are two separate pieces. But here, this is one piece. And just look at how absolutely incredible that is. I can't get over how good that looks and how good they did that. Now, at the same time, they've been doing 1/6 scale figures, extremely high quality, with actor likenesses that are unmatched. So I'm sure they were able to just do this, and maybe they could just downscale what they've already had into the 1/12 scale. Maybe that it was easier than I make it sound. I don't know, but it is done incredibly well, and the paint is done really nicely too. So I am really, really impressed there. I'm going to work on trying to figure this out. So we're going to look at the swappable mouth plates here shortly. I think I'm going to have to pop the head off and try and push out the mouthpiece from underneath. So let's check that out. Okay, so yes, it looks like we do that. I pop the neck off, and then I don't know. I guess you gotta kind of have to get something in there. Let me see if I can use a hand to push. Now the hands are pretty soft plastic, so that's not going to give me enough force to really force out that mouthpiece, because it's not easy. I gotta have to use something a little bit more sturdy to push that out. Okay, so I got it pushed out. That is the one that comes on the figure there, so you guys can see how that looks. So we'll pull that out. And again, these other ones look very, very similar to me. I don't notice a huge difference between them. But there is a little bit of a difference. Maybe a nice like one with a screaming head could have looked cool. So then we have that one there. I don't notice a real difference between them, to be completely honest with you guys. I think the shape of their lips might be a little bit different each time around, but it's not very noticeable to me, as you can see there. So very, very little difference between these ones. And then let me do the third one, and we'll see if you guys notice a difference with this one. This one there, his lips seem to be a little bit more pressed together on this one. I don't know. I think if they were going to change it up, they should have had some big differences between them. I think they're just so similar. I don't know that it was completely necessary, but hey, we got them, so we work with what we got. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and jump on over into the articulation here so you guys can see what we're working with on this figure. So the neck is its separate joint, so you can get Batman to look up, which is great. The head, again, is on a separate joint, so you could swivel that head on that neck. You could pivot that neck around. The neck doesn't really swivel a whole lot. You can do some, but with the cowl head sculpt, you can swivel that head no problem. The shoulder pad on there kind of works its way out, so you can be able to get the arm to go out, as you can see there. So that is a good thing. So that shoulder pad can kind of move around and it won't break. You do want to be very careful with it, of course. You could do a full rotation in there if you so pleased. It doesn't, there's a little bit of a shoulder rotation in there, kind of brings it down a little bit and kind of brings it out for some crossbody, but you're not going to get a whole lot in there. And then you're not going to really get it to go back a whole lot, but you can get some kind of rotation a little bit in there. In terms of the arm, there is a bicep swivel right here at the top of this armor piece, just above the elbow. You do get a swivel in there, so heads up on that. You get a double jointed elbow, gives you that much bend there at the elbow, which is quite nice. And then wrist is on a ball joint and hinge, so you could swivel and hinge any which way you need to on those hands. A couple of points of articulation when it comes to the torso. So you have this upper piece, you have this other piece, and then you've got this other piece down here. So total movement, like coming forward from a standing position, he's going to be able to crunch forward that much. Total from a standing position to kind of lean back is going to go that much there. And then you could swivel at the waist, and then you can kind of get a little bit of rotation on those other parts of the torso as well. You can get Batman to tilt to his left. It looks like mainly just the lower torso portions. That upper torso, you don't get it as much, so he could tilt to the left that much. Tilting to the right that much there, as you can see. And then on the legs, you could see there is some separation at that waist. So this belt kind of, you'll have to kind of move the belt around to kind of hide some of that gappage that you see in there. The legs, you can get the legs to go out. Whoops, just pop that off. You can get the legs to go out that far apart there. You can kick forward very, very high, as you can see there. The leg doesn't really go back. You got a thigh swivel in there. A double jointed knee, like so. There is no boot swivel, but you do get an ankle swivel, and you can hinge the ankle down a little bit. You can hinge up a little bit. There is really good pivot going on in there. And then you also have toe articulation at the feet. So there we go with the articulation. The sculpt and the detailing of the sculpt does limit some of the movement that you would hope in the torso, but I think we'd still get enough good movement in there that it still looks really, really good. Okay, so here we have the EMP rifle, as you can see there, with the trigger finger hand and then the hand to hold the EMP rifle there, and that looks really good. You can kind of pose it out quite nicely, and it fits in the hand really well and looks good. Okay, so I went ahead and took the cape off of this one because this is the sticky bomb gun, and it sounds like this gun was actually one that was used in the Dark Knight, not in the Dark Knight Rises. This is when I think it travels to Hong Kong to Lao's building, and he has to use the bomb in place there. So that's what we got going on there, and he has the two hands so you can get the trigger and then hold it here on this end. So that's what we got. Okay, and then the grapple gun, as you can see there, the trigger finger hand. There's two trigger finger hands on the right that are very, very similar. This one definitely holds the grapple gun a little bit easier compared to like the EMP rifle. So you got that going. So he holds on to that quite nicely. And then you do get one battering holding hand, and as you can see, it's for his right. So you can stick that right in there, and you could do that. This is the larger of the batterings. Let's see if we could do the smaller of the batterings and see if it'll hold in there well. And probably, yeah, you could do that too. So if you want to use the smaller battering, you can do that also. So there. It's too bad we don't get a left battering holding hand. It is strictly just a right battering holding throwing hand. You know, I realized I didn't show you guys the stand. So as you can see there, it has the Dark Knight Rises logo, and it's kind of like that shattered look. There, it's just this thick base, as you can see there, and it says Batman INART 112, and you got all that going on there. And then it has this clip piece so you could stand up the figure vanilla pose. Pretty nice weight to it, so that works out well. But let's go ahead and see Batman up against some other figures to see how he measures up. Okay, so here is a size comparison, both 112 scale. Here is the Mafex Snyder Cut Ben Affleck Batman, and you can see he's a little bit larger there. I don't know size-wise, like if Ben Affleck is taller than Christian Bale, but it's definitely a bulkier figure, so Mafex tends to be a little bit larger in terms of import figures. So I would need to see like how the Dark Knight Rises INART figure measures up to SH Figuarts, because SH Figuarts tends to be a little bit smaller. The problem with that is I do not have a movie Batman to kind of do a comparison there. So we're going to have to kind of do a comparison with, let's go with Wolverine, because I just don't have another Batman to do that with. But before we do that, jumping into like Marvel characters, here is the Mafex Hush Batman, and as you can see, comic is a little bit taller than there, so we're kind of getting a little bit more in the ballpark, but still INART is a little bit smaller. So this isn't even really a fair comparison because McFarlane Toys is a 7-inch scale, but as you can see, when you got two figures that's based on the exact same source material, there's obviously going to be the similarities in the sculpt and the design of the suit, but the execution of the figure is completely different, and with McFarlane being a 7-inch scale, they don't measure up, so it's not really fair there to say that. And then plus, I never opened this one, and I didn't plan on opening it yet. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that is more like it there. So the INART 112 scale seems to really kind of measure up when it comes to SH Figuarts figures. Every action figure line scale-wise is thrown off a little bit. So this 112 scale seems to be SH Figuarts 112 scale, whereas Mafex is a little bit bigger. Marvel Legends would be bigger, obviously, and so on and so forth. I mean, you got like Mafex, all those different things. So there is some big differences there. I realized I didn't do like a Marvel Legends comparison. So like here is the Amazing Spider-Man. And I guess they kind of measure up quite nicely there. which is kind of surprising because, you know, SH Figure Arts would tend to be a little bit smaller there, but there is a size comparison. But I think SH Figure Arts wise and INART 112, I think they're going to measure up quite nicely together. Okay, so that is my review of the INART 112 scale Dark Knight Rises Christian Bale Batman figure. Absolutely incredible figure. The Christian Bale likeness is absolutely incredible. Again, this is the deluxe version. The deluxe version comes with this unmasked head sculpt as well as the figure base and stand. That is going to MSRP for $69. The standard version without the head sculpt, without the stand, is going to be MSRP $51 direct through INART. And again, like to North America, United States, they're not going to be able to ship directly, so you have to check out with other retailers if they're going to have it. I don't know yet if Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store are going to be able to have this figure up for pre-order on the 28th at 5 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so 5 a.m. March 28th Pacific time is when this figure will go up for order. Link in the video description below directly to INART. If I find out other websites are going to have it for pre-order, I will include it in the video description below. But through INART, you can make sure to go through the link. When this video goes live, you can go to that link and you can put in like a reserve notification, so when it does go live, you'll get notified for it. I think it's an incredible value for the figure. The accessories are really nice. The EMP rifle, the sticky bomb gun, the grapple gun, the batarangs, the different hands. All really, really good stuff. I really like it. You guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below on this Batman figure. How excited are you? Are you looking forward to the comic figures that are going to be coming? The Catwoman figure looks absolutely incredible. Really, really excited for that as well. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do, because looking at what INART has done with their 1/6 scale stuff and now putting it into 1/12 scale, very exciting times. But give me your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.